Hi guys, it's Tasha. Talk to Tasha. Welcome to the page. Welcome to the channel. I jumped on here just because I have pockets of time. My flight, I missed my flight, but so I have a 3 hour wait. I'm on standby for 8 o'clock in Arizona. So I just counted all joy. I needed to have this time to just relax and soak up the trip. So some of you know that I've been on a traveling mission just to kind of clear my mind, free myself, and get some clarity around what I need to be doing, not what I want to be doing, but what I'm supposed to be doing. So here I am in the airport, and they told me that I missed my flight. But what came out of it, my destiny is not delayed. So there's a difference. So all of you Care Bears out there, I'm inviting you to take a time out, however that shows up for you in that small, quiet space, to get back to the root of who you are. Some of the things that I have gained insight on is because I was in a still, quiet place. Um, I could have looked at this delay. I was so looking forward to picking up my son for his basketball practice. I was going to surprise him. I was going to be there by 8 o'clock to pick him up for practice, but looks like I won't be leaving here till 8. So although I had my plans and my intentions were great, I'm trusting that God allowed this delay to happen for a reason, but the whole purpose and promise that he has is not delayed. So just because it was missed, I'm on standby by their standard, but I'm definitely not on standby by my Father's standard. So life have things and twists and turns, but don't let it discourage you, you Care Bears out there. I'm really encouraging you guys to take a deep look at what you're supposed to be doing, so you're not out there stressed on those jobs, giving out everything that you have and doing nothing for yourself. And usually our timeout hopefully is not around a crisis, like I'm checking out just because I'm stressed to the max. We shouldn't be at a point in our life where we're scheduling in peaceful moments. What is that all about? So we want to undo some things. One of the things I can say that I've learned, I love my nieces and nephews and great nieces and nephews. Um, they are my heartbeat. It's almost like they're mine, but I just didn't have them like most of you guys feel about your nieces and nephews. And so as I was putting on, in Arizona it's super ugly hot. So most of the time we were out splashing at the pool, but didn't really have much desire to get out and play in the hot heat. Who wants to do that, right? So today was probably one of the only days since I've been here. I talk with my hands, I know that. Um, One of the things I was doing today is I'm like, okay, I'm going home, so I'm going to do the little decoration, what we call makeup, right? So I tell my niece, and she's 5. You guys will see her. I took a lot of pictures with her. I call her Asia because she's my Asia, but her mom named her Soraya. So I call her Asia, and she's 5. And she came in the bathroom as I'm decorating myself as best way I know how. And so I'm asking her, she comes in, all bubbly as she is. And I asked her, I go, hey, do you want some lipstick or lip gloss? Here I am tainting her already, right? But she goes, no, actually, Auntie Tasha, can you just give me some bread? How profound is that? So like here we are, every little thing that happens to me these days, I always have an epiphany. I always have a learning moment, a teachable moment. And surely we know we learn a lot from little kids if we just slow down and understand how they really sending messages to us. But I thought that was like profound. If you just think about that, like what is it that we're decorating up in our life, whatever that looks like, our relationship, our finances, how we define ourselves with our material goodies and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, we just need some bread, the good old fashioned things that we need to thrive and survive. And so when she did that, I go, wow, here I am making assumptions that she came to interrupt my flow and me doing my little decorating stuff on my face, which I'm still learning how to do. But she simply went to where she can get the answer to what she needs. her problem needed to be resolved, and she knew Auntie Tasha was going to give her that bread. So she didn't really get in her mind like, I'm not going to go bother Auntie because she's doing her makeup or she's preoccupied in the restroom in the mirror. Her bottom line is, I need what I need, and I'm going to someone to give it to me. So if a 5-year-old can reach out and grab resources in the midst of what they need, you better check that little nugget and apply that thing to your life. Because some of us in the helping profession and just in general, as mommy bears, daddy bears, we're just too proud to beg, as they call it. And if you just constantly doing, you don't know how to receive. Y'all need to cut it, because you're turning around asking God to bless you, to help you, to give you more, to give you some financial money straight out. And by the time he's trying to give it to you, it don't look and smell the way that you expected it, and you miss out. I'm telling you, I'm taking all that he giving to me any way it comes. Through my 5-year-old niece, through my great nephew, through my grandkids, through anybody. I am getting the message loud and clear. Why? Because I shut down the noise and recognize as care bearers, you're not called to care for people, and you can't save them. You can't do any of those things. In fact, if they help you, put your mind around it. Just call yourself a handyman or a handy woman with the tool belts and nuggets that you have through your living through life experiences, or through your profession and the things that you study. So if that helps some of you guys reframe your role as a social worker or a counselor or a teacher or a nurse or a cop or all those helping professions that drains us and sends us on our back and compassion fatigue, think about it like that. Because people, they can either pick the nuggets up, the tools that you offer, or not. We have choices. And one thing I do, because I have all this wonderful 3-hour time, I ran across some notes from our marriage conference. And I'm going to reference it because I don't want to misquote what was said at the marriage conference in March. And this pastor is from San Francisco. Shout out to Pastor Hawkins from San Francisco Neighborhood Baptist Church. I'm referring to the notes because I do not want to do a disservice in repeating what he said at the conference. One of the things he said was the difference between deciding or choosing. And so what he said about deciding is that deciding kills off options. So in other words, he was telling us to write down the word homicide and slice the word in half. So you have homo, and then you have the word side, C-I-D-E. And then also looking at the word suicide. So you have the word suicide split in half. You have sua, S-U-I, and then C-I-D-E. So the common letters in the word is side, C-I-D-E. So he said when you decide, deciding kills off your options, like we see with homicide and suicide. So he charged us with making a choice opposed to making a decision. Rather than deciding, you make a choice, because deciding cut off all options. So I thought that was very profound, and I wanted to share that with you guys. And at the end of that takeaway for the marriage conference context, he was just basically telling us to take one yes and one amen at a time. When you're making a choice, take one yes and one amen at a time. Don't try to overkill and overthink things and, put a lot of pressure and assignments to your life. This little, awakening moment is very, very good, because oftentimes we go to these workshops and these trainings. They load us up with a ton of good stuff. I don't know if you guys know, but I go to trainings galore. Some of them are mandated by your workplace. And after a while, the context is so overwhelming that you find yourself like on your cell phone, like texting or gazing off, because sometimes too much information overload, you leave with absolutely nothing. So that's why my goal is to make the YouTubes kind of short and to the point where, well, usually they're not too short, but they're not super, super long. So the point is, as you're standing in a DMV line, or you're in court for some of you guys in the hallway, and you just want to chime in and jump online and get something really quick to spark your thinking, that's the whole idea around the YouTubes. When I do some series, of course, and some teachings, those will be more inclined for you to sit down with a notebook and jot some things down, take in some considerations and all that jazz. But I probably will do a couple of YouTubes. Heck, I got 3 hours. Why not use the time effectively? I love chatting with you guys. I love the feedback. Remember, you the boss of me. You feeding back to me what you need is what drives what I do. Because I'm your Care Bear professional, your anti-compassion fatigue specialist that's going to make sure you check in and you check out when you need to, so that you can be all things to all people, number one to yourself. Okay? Until then, I'll see you on Facebook. Talk to Tasha. And please check out the WordPress. I have poured my heart out, and it comes so natural. I will be online with a blog about missing my flight, but sure not my destiny. Go ahead on.